Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight.
Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you're going to get the coffin spin. Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. Always a pleasure to have you here. And, yeah, gonna be a fun night tonight. Just had a couple matches just announced. Hichisero taking on Swerve Strickland tonight, as well as we're getting Wheeler Yuta and Hangman Page and Toni Storm against Billie Starks. So we got both champs in action tonight. We got Tony Khan has said he likes doing these late afternoon announcements instead of talking about earlier in the week, just because it seems like it gets more buzz that way. So I like the change of thinking. I like the change of difference. I like everything that's going on. So Yuta, there's still time to run. Rah! Hey, Jay Quick, good to see you here. And Eric, yes, R.I.P. Ozzy. You know what Ozzy reminds me of with everything that's gone on here? And I know there's a very different correlation between the two. But to me, it feels like there's a correlation between Ozzy Osbourne and the Ultimate Warrior. If you guys don't remember, Ultimate Warrior passing away literally a day after he gave his final speech on Raw there, after his Hall of Fame induction. Just days after his last concert, yeah. It was a rough time, so. But you know what? Just remember Ozzy for all the good times, all the good music. When you get a chance to live your life the way that Ozzy did, I'm not feeling bad about that whatsoever. But yeah, definitely hit everybody in the culture quite a bit there. But no, as we get into this tonight for Dynamite, we're in week 2 of Chicago. So we're going to get the same venue as we did last week, which I know a lot of people have been ridiculing it a little bit for the fact that it's a smaller venue right after your biggest show of the year. I think those of us that have been around for Dynamite as long as we have, you sort of realize that it would sort of make sense to do this. Oh, I thought they had something up on the balcony like some Jumbotron stuff. They're doing a tag. Well, son of a bitch. Well, you want to talk about last minute excitement deals here. So we're getting FTR versus Jet Speed tonight. Can I, that is going to be a lot of fun. This also means we could get some Japanese teams coming in. It is so nice to see Hichisero picking up that dual contract between both CMLL and AEW. Osprey back. I didn't see him on the graphic at all. Could you imagine? Could you imagine MJF using that tonight just to piss off the world? Oh, yeah, but if we hear from Osprey tonight, it could just be. It could be an interview from home. It could be a segment. You're not. It doesn't mean that he's back, and it's probably going to be a pre-taped segment. I'll almost guarantee that. If he shows up, great. I do think his U.S. base is Chicago, though, so. Wheeler just said, the hell with this, let's go. Well, the crowd's got the chant in nice and well here. I'd like to see Hangman win this without even taking his jacket off. I blame Moxley for this tail kicking about to take. I wonder how this is going to pan out here. Because we do have to look and see who's going to be the next challenger for Hangman. We're still early yet. Colt getting opened up the hard way in Chicago. That is like extra evil. But speaking of evil, do we see Evil Uno tonight? Do we see Dark Order tonight? Why do we have a picture of MJF on the screens behind us there? Rats and sharks, same thing, according to Taz. That's always very intelligent. Yeah, we're randomly dropping FTR versus Jet Speed tonight in a tag team eliminator quarterfinal. And I think with the fact that they're doing this sort of, it also describes a little bit of a problem we have here in AEW. Because think about it. We might end up getting FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate in that final. We're probably going to get Athena versus Toni Storm. This Forbidden Door is not going to be very forbidden as we get into London. And honestly, from what I've seen from a lot of the Japanese contingent that are going to be around, I wonder how many of those people we're actually going to want to see on the card, or we're going to miss on the card. There might be 3 or 4. Thinking maybe Mox Hangman, then we met. Yeah, but like Forbidden Door, you know what that was meant to be? That was meant to be the crossover show. Like New Japan did a hell of a job with Wrestle Dynasty January 5th with having everybody like together and mixed up at the same time. All right, well, this match looks like it might be over quick. Buckshot Jones. He's getting 5 minutes. 5 minutes for our opening match. 5 minutes. Do you almost expect something else to happen now that happened? But you'd almost expect it too, right? Let the Let the champion, show that he's that dominant. Actually makes a lot of sense. So is Tony Khan going to come out here and just say no more chains, period? So we catch you to head of the sixth world. That'd be a little bit scary. I almost think they're not going to be able to do it because it's on live TV. Like doing this on pay-per-view. I guess they no. He's like, yeah, that's actually a very good point. Wheeler's like, Wheeler's by himself and nobody's coming to save him. But this is the same way that the Dark Order had with Hangman Page. Remember way back when? Kenny Omega was not there to save him when Hangman was in trouble. When Hangman was a double champ. Oh, we're getting Claudio and Mark. Just hello. Like, I love the fact that we're just getting these whatever matches, but I would like a couple more announcements earlier on so we could have a sort of a talking point as to what's going to be on Dynamite. Oh, here we go. Hey, Nats fan. Good to see you here today. The hell is. It's been a very good. I want that shirt. You'd have got neglected and left, yeah. Guess what week it is? I love that shirt. Oh, and we got the bleach cleaners out. Hey, McG, how you doing tonight? You missed the first match already. They only had a 5-minute match to open the show tonight. We literally got a 5-minute match between Hangman Page and Wheeler Yuta. And Wheeler sort of. Oh, watch. Okay, that was a start. Yeah. All right, fair enough. Stokely milking that injury. I'm glad to see he's using his crutch out so well. What a helmet. I want one of those helmets. We're in Canada, so we don't get Shark Week, but I'd love to have one of those hats. What do you guys think of the FTR jackets, by the way? Those are pretty sweet. This match is going to be good. So hear me out, chat. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. FTR ends up winning the tournament, winning the titles, and Cope and Christian are there for the to take them on at All Out for the tag titles. And that's where we get that run with the tag titles for... I think Dax normally limps. Normally limped in the head a little bit too some days, but that's beside the point, you know. But this is going to be interesting now. Tony Khan just randomly throws out a tournament and announces the first match tonight. And match number 2 is, of course, going to be on Saturday. They'll have the quarterfinals done before they leave Chicago. I'm surprised Stokely isn't coming out in a full body cast, to be perfectly honest. If I would have known that Shark was going to have that kind of disguise, I would have got that mustache. And well, I got the eyebrows already, but I could get the mustache for that. No, Dax isn't even out of his jacket. Damn it, Devon. Cash is literally getting nothing. Now I wonder, is Cash the one injured too? The look of Stokely is just priceless. The look of evil there. So how's everybody's week been, by the way? It's been, what, 5 to 4 days? Now Bailey's holding... Well, with all due respect, right now, I think everybody's got something. Like, ever since anybody that's participated All In, like, they've been going like gangbusters right now. And everybody's working a little bit hurt. And if Jet Speed ends up winning this match, they're going to have probably 2 weeks to be able to relax to get ready for the next match. Like, the winner of this gets the ultimate advantage here for the fact they got to wait for the other 3 quarterfinals to finish. All right, that's going to suck on the back, too. Cash has literally not got an offensive move in tonight. We're actually getting the picture-in-picture tonight, so that's good. I thought MJF already appeared live to tell off Hangman. I guess we're going to get him in... Well, we got to get him in the full Monty here, right? If you guys haven't heard the Happy Gilmore 2 movie, we'll have MJF's ass on in the film. Out there for all the world to see. Apparently it came up in an interview with Katie Nolan that they was having there, so. Okay, I see. Yeah, we're going to hear from Will Ospreay. I got a feeling that's going to be a tape promo from wherever he is. The like I said earlier, the one thing about it though that he could show up is the fact that I do believe Kyle and Will are based out of Chicago. Did you guys? By the way, did you any of you guys get a chance? I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but apparently TK did a full house tour of his place in Chicago this morning on X, showing off some of the Renoirs he has and all the fancy paintings. Did I see the Wardlow package on Twitter? Well, I got my phone right here, so I'll quickly run this up as I got the hiccups. Great. Excuse me. Oh, you're all over it. Oh, the new figure? Oh. Don't want to see the Wardlow package? I'll just hold the mic up here because you guys can hear this. It's basically a huge workout video. Wardlow looking jacked as always. Thank you once again for that, Nats. I'll have to find some way to get it up on my screen here one of these times, but... Oh, and I owe you, thank you, Big G. No, apparently MJF brought up the comment about his ass view. That apparently it was just a bad angle, so you guys can see a little bit more. And we're all like, kosher pickle, what? How are you saying dark arts when you talk about Stokely, you moron? The new DLC looks good. Yeah, I picked it up this morning. Actively going out to go out of your way to watch Gilmore 2. I don't go anywhere to go watch movies, to be perfectly honest with you right now, Nats. Normally I'm working, between working and streaming, like, it's a lot. But yeah, that DLC, I did pick it up. Just a quick note tonight, guys, by the way. There will be no post 2K25 tonight. I got a couple things to go, and I'm not in the best of shape today, so we're just going to hold off. We're going to do season finale of season 1 next week. Next Wednesday, then we're going to figure out what we're going to do going into August here, so. Costs too much to go to theater? I hear you. It's all about, that. Personally, I usually wait till it comes out at home, but then there's usually 4 other things I got to watch before that, so. I know I have Disney Plus, but I don't. I watch a lot of YouTube. That's about it for the most part. If you watch a movie, you watch it at home, yeah. Well, I just remind myself for the first time I ever went out. First night I ever went out post pandemic, I got COVID. That was the ultimate luck right there. I watched it on Fandango. I don't think we get Fandango here at That little girl was smart. I appreciate that girl. Wanted a low five from the little girl in the crowd. See, if that girl was smart, she'd learn how to shoot the bird. Oh, and here we go. I love how he just literally is kick him in the head, kick him in the leg, kick in the back, kick wherever. Oh, there's a dragon screw on Bailey. So now we got the story of the match. Could you imagine if that happened? Got the quick pin like that? I think FTR would go absolutely insane. Oh, now he can do it legally. And of course, Cash doesn't know how to do it right, so he's grabbing both, pulling out both knees instead. So now they're going to go for the power of glory. Well, the crowd's into it tonight. I'm appreciative of that. Oh, and I was asked a specific question by our. Has has Cash literally gotten a move in tonight? Literally a move. Damn. Hey, Bray. No, we got Hangman Adam Page defeated Wheeler Yuta in about 5 minutes. Now they're starting to put the figures back into our head about Wheeler leaving the Death Riders. And now we literally got this eliminator match for a Forbidden Door title shot for the tag titles right now between FTR and Jet Speed going on. So Tony Khan has announcing things at the last second can be a great thing or can be a horrible thing. But I think when we get a little bit of break in the action here, I was asked online. I was actually asked on the last stream here about. We're going to. People were asking me about my thoughts about Sunday and what happened there. So just, I got a lot of them, and I'll be honest, I was so focused on River City Girls last stream, I didn't get a chance to say anything about it. So, but yeah, like we got a hell of a match here in the ring. I'll get to my points about that because I don't like talking about other promotions while good wrestling's going on. Like if we got an MJF promo that's gonna go nowhere on my screen, maybe we'll talk about it then. So if it isn't FTR, NXT, yeah, like I said, we'll get to it in a second here, but that acronym seems rather apropos to another acronym I'm thinking of right now when it comes to what's going to be coming up, and that is WWECW. That's what TNA feels like to me right now. But there's another example that actually PJC brought up that I'd like to compare it to, but we're having a hell of a time here with this match here. Jet Speed is still giving it all they can. And Cash, once again, cannot hit a move tonight. Happy DLC day. Yeah, I picked up the DLC already. So we're going to be able to look at it a little bit more on Saturday when we're here. In terms of free agents that'll be available for us in 2K25, my GM. they automatically fill into your roster spots for. I think Cash just hit one spot. That was it. You notice how Cash ran underneath there to catch that dive? He literally just ran underneath. See, AEW already got the day for WrestleDrill. Well, they're trying to hold up these dates as long as they can. To be perfectly honest, that way they can make sure that they're not going to get crossed up with WWE any further than they are already. Like what? Heat Wave's going to be the same day as Forbidden Door. Expect a note soon that No Mercy is going to be the same day as All Out Toronto. But yeah, I'm glad that they got WrestleDream booked. That way I can actually book off work for it. Damn, what a shot there. That was good. What hurt AEW? That's a hell of a twist, but yeah, like, no, what happened is there just no. What hurt AEW Fight Forever is the premise of what everybody thought it was going to be. They thought it was going to be some big, expansive game. This is insane. Oh, God, that's got to hurt. That was a nice high stack there by Dax. No, a lot of people expected it to be this big, expansive game. Even No Mercy was the same thing. Like, people remember it as this big, expansive game, and yes, there was a bit of a story mode to it. But with all due respect, oh God, almost got the cover there. AEW Fight Forever, if it was promoted as a party game and wasn't charging full price the way that it is, that was three. That was three. That was three. Oh, Stokely with a crutch. Literally with the crutch. That was rough. So who do we get on Saturday? It's like a blind tournament right now. Maybe because Tony Khan hasn't even figured out what he wants to do with it yet. Or watch this. Watch it be CNC versus CNC versus what random team. Oh, Stoke, you're getting the Don Callis treatment in Chicago. Yeah, but we all enjoyed it. Ah, well, let's just see how this changes. Could you imagine Cope teaming up with Wardlow since we were just talking about him? Maybe teaming up with Wardlow for now? And he ends up losing thanks to some shenanigans on Wardlow? The hell is that shirt? Ha! Nobody's listening to Stokely. It's like, screw off, Stoke. We don't care. We're singing it anyway. I love it. On this day. Wow, let's go! Let's go! You, babyface turn complete! MVP and Cope? No, he don't got no partner. He just this is the APA. APA 2.0. And Cope just said beat the shit out of these two. We're getting a little preview here. Well, at least we're getting some video for the promo package for Forbidden Door, right? I love how Dax is trying to pull the hair. Well, FTR is wearing camo pants for a reason there, Jay Quick. Cash is going for the chair. MVP just stepped on it. Just, nope, we ain't doing that. So now Cope managed to get past the pile into the ring. So now we got to make a match somehow. Stoke almost got creamed again. I love this. In a place in a broken dream. Yeah, it was definitely smart for Cope to hire the Hurt Syndicate. Like, and it also, it shows that they're there to make money, right? Oh, we get Nick Wayne. We get a Mama Wayne sighting. Tony come out and make Stark versus Colt. That would be funny. Ooh. Hey, Will is here. Cool. Looks like he's beat up all the shit, but he's here. So yeah, Will is based out of Chicago. If he's still staying with Kyle Fletcher and Sky Blue, because from what I heard, they all live together. Like that was sort of the deal when Kyle was in England, that he got to stay with Alex and Will there, right? Alex Windsor. I was just trying to remember. I remember the Windsor name. I couldn't remember Alex there for a bit. So he was staying with them when they were in England. So it's sort of a return the favor thing when Osprey's in America, I do believe. Not that it really matters, but the only reason I say it is because you can do a promo with Osprey in the ring here and just say, "Look, I'm going to be out for a while." Or does he get called out by Gabe Kidd, who, due to injury, is pretty much out of the G1? Well, he's 0-3 already with a forfeit because he had to forfeit his match against Shingo Takagi in the draw. I don't know the updated standings for the G1, but it looks like Gabe's not going to be going anywhere in that draw, and I heard that Takeshita's doing real well. Other than that, I haven't heard much of anything else about what the draw is and what the standings are for the G1. But the one thing you can tell for sure is the fact that we're not going to get Takeshita to win the G1. Unlike some other promotion that did this on Sunday. And one thing I want to make perfectly clear when I say this, I am not disrespecting the athletes. I think the athletes are doing a hell of a job with what they're told to do and how they get things put together. But the fact that you have all your titles on another show, the way that TNA has with NXT, and you have those wrestlers on NXT, and there's no blowback or no reaction this week from anybody from the TNA roster coming over to NXT to go get their title back. It really shows the state of affairs that we're in right now. And if you take a step back, and PJC brought this up in a chat on Monday when we were yesterday we were playing River City Girls. He was asked about this. Does this remind you a lot of when New Japan had that deal with Ring of Honor just before Sinclair basically said to hell with us? I think it does in many ways, for the fact that it looks like the promotion doesn't care. We know they do because they're out there to make money. Darby's going after a shark. It's going to be very interesting what Ospreay says. So what are they planning on doing? They literally would not let her say what she was going to say. That was weird. I know you've been pushing this chain match. I don't think you do it. I don't think you need to. Where do you go from a Texas death match? There is no level higher. Chain match is a level below because the chain is a part of a Texas death match. And that's the thing you got to remember, Jay Quick, when you announce these kind of matches. You need to escalate the stakes. You can't bring the stakes down. That's why, for example, when we do WWE 2K25, my GM, we end up cage matches end the feud. That's it. You can't go any further than that. If you do it again, it just ruins your momentum. Well, he definitely did. I like this. I like this a lot. But all right, treatable. A month? That's it? All right. Uh, are we gonna get Moxley versus Osprey? You tell me that wouldn't be a lot of fun. Tony rubbing the middle of his back to see if he could feel the vertebrae sticking out. But yeah, they're not gonna book anything for Osprey right now for Forbidden Door until they actually know if he's gonna be okay. Well, we got a respect spot I don't think we'd ever see. This is absolutely pretty awesome here. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing tonight? Hope you had an excellent day at work, if there's such a thing. No, we've had a fun night tonight, so it's been okay. I gotta admit, there's a lot of things going on right now, but you know what? These 2 hours a week hanging out with all of you, no matter what goes on, it feels good to hang out with all of you. I know I get a little cranky at times, and I'm probably gonna get crankier, but love my work, just getting used to everything. So many situations. Yeah, that's like everything. Oh, here we go. This is a fun faction here. And now with the announcement this week that Elena Black's going to be taking some time off, it actually makes a lot of sense why Thekla would be could be a part of this super faction here, and I think she's a great fit. Osprey can't be in the next paper. He says there's a shot. What he said in his interview is, if with the right physiotherapy, I could be back for Forbidden Door. I thought that was absolutely crazy, but I'll tell you right now, they're not going to book him. They're not going to mention a match until they know. I think Elena Black was slated. I think she's got the age, she's got the look, and she's got the gimmick. Because she's got that tarot card gimmick right now, right? So I honestly feel that was supposed to be Elena Black's slot, her spot in that faction. Even if they have four in that group, it would still work. But and her and Blue are both from Chicago. There you go. That's even more of it. The dominoes fit too well, but to be perfectly frank, and this I'll be talking a little bit more about this as we go along with some stuff. If you're not well mentally, physically, and you're not able to go properly, it's better to take the time off, get yourself together, rather than trying to push your way through it and hopefully it goes away. Many people don't learn that lesson. Many people learn that lesson the hard way. Do yourself a favor and never be the person who ends up learning it the hard way. Now, I did say that just want to give you guys a heads up here, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys for a little bit. This isn't going to be a bleeding heart moment, but it is a commercial break with a full. It's a full break, as we used to say in basketball. Here, it's a full timeout. If I'm a little lighter on my schedule in August here, it's I got a bunch of tests I got to run through and got to get some stuff fixed up here that I've been frankly ignoring for a very long time here. So I'll let you guys know when I have more details, but I don't want you guys to start speculating about anything right now. So, but one thing I will say is I'm going to do everything in my power not to miss any of these. There's no reason for me to. Honestly, streaming is probably the easiest part of my week right now, in terms of just hanging out with you guys. And there is a couple things I have to work on tonight, plus a couple of the guys couldn't make it, so that's why I said we're going to be postponing this week's or today's 2K25. We're going to run the solo stream on Saturday. Next Wednesday, we'll wrap up season 1. And then we're going to figure out what we're going to do going forward in August here. Whether we switch over to myself and Zodiac running solo, or if the other guys want to hang out, we can just set up a little bit more. I didn't set the rules up the way I needed to, so we're gonna figure that out. We want to make sure we do something entertaining for all you guys and guys and girls, and you guys have just been a blast to be around. And I just want to make sure that the product we provide is equidistant, equivalent, reciprocal. There's the word I'm looking for. Reciprocal to the amount of love you guys give us here. So, once again, everybody, thank you for being here. And once again, like I said, we are now getting NXTNA, which is the equivalent of WWE CW. It feels more and more all the time. No, Eric, you guys are the best. I just sit back and relax. The only thing I ever ask you guys to do, I know on YouTube you can sub for free. And same thing with the follows over on Twitch. All I ever ask you guys to do, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. Let's get more people in here talking, because this is such a great community. I love this moment. Cope just comes out and just says, yeah, I'm buying these guys off this week. So you beat the living crap out of you. And once again, this is the video that they can use for Forbidden Door if these two are in the final, right? Poor security guard had the moment of his life getting speared by Copeland. Whoa, look at Lashley's face. Well, that ends that in a hurry. He's on his own now. There goes your game plan, you doofus. Somebody just. Oh my God, we got Athena up in the stands. She's got the balcony view. I want that shirt. You know what week this is? It says on there with a big ass shark on it. I apologize to everybody here. What's my favorite Ozzy or Sabbath song? I'm horrible with music. I'll be the first one to admit. There's so many to line up. I don't think I could honestly pick one. I was just trying to think about it, you know. You got Crazy Train, No More Tears, Iron Man. Even the new stuff, like Never Gonna Stop, actually was pretty decent if you ask me, but I'm horrible at ranking. I'm horrible at ranking. Yeah, We talked about him at the top of the show. I'm so happy right now to see Billie Starks out here. So here's the funny part about this match. So Toni turned this into a title eliminator match. So if Billie wins, Billie gets a title shot. So Athena just turned to her and said, when she found out that happens, your job is not to win the match. Your job is to hurt her. Now, the extra dynamic, what happens if Billie wins? And here's my prediction, Nats. I'm going to throw this one right out of left field right now. Billie wins. Title match is set for Forbidden Door, and that's when Athena's already signed the contract. She just hasn't mentioned when. Like, she's already put pen to paper as to when. So she hasn't announced it, but she's already signed it for Forbidden Door. So it's going to be a three-way. Billie wins and Athena cashes. I don't think they would do that position to give Billie the title and just not let her not have any run whatsoever. Tony's big on lineage, right? Lineage of the title, and all the champions need to be special and whatnot, so I'm always good for ideas, Nats, and that's one thing, like, thank you for reminding me. I gotta write a note down. Because there's something else I want to work on here. Because there are some other projects that have been promised. Have you guys been noticing Patreon giving you old posts just randomly for some reason? Because I literally got a post from Fightful from earlier this morning. If you guys haven't heard, Layla Hirsch is getting a tryout at WWE for the former Ring of Honor and AEW wrestler. She's getting a tryout, but it's as a referee. Which, frankly, if she wants to do that, cool. I will never argue about that. Oh, God. There you go, Billie. But the best thing to say about when you're short like that, you're more likely to become a referee. Because typically you watch a referee shorter to make your athletes look bigger, especially in some promotions. But no, if that's something she wants to do and she could do it well and she fits in right, let her. We all know Jessica Carr went from wrestling to reffing, and now she's wrestling under a mask in Evolve. So good on her. Once again, love when I see people getting jobs, and especially good jobs that they enjoy. That's what matters. Now, I really do wonder if, like, Athena could cash in that spot and have it at Forbidden Door. We could have the triple threat, and Toni can retain. And that's when you could see the return of Mercedes, maybe. And I still have a real feeling that she's going to do a 7-for-1 deal. Either that or she's going to be losing titles over the next few weeks because she is defending that British Championship over the next couple weeks here a few times leading into Forbidden Doors. So I think it's 4 or 5 times. And that's assuming that she wins all those matches, right? So but Billie really looking like a veteran here. Still around like a spoiled kid, but at the same time, she's still. You want to talk about certain prospects that just feel like they have it? And Nick Wayne and Billie Starks have fought all over the indies together, but both of them have it. Now we're getting an opportunity to see Nick Wayne really step up and show that if he has the chops to work by himself after working with Christian Cage, as long as he has. And I got a feeling the new patriarchy are going to be one of those two teams that we're going to see on Saturday in this tag title tournament. But it'll be on the other half of the draw, so they can win. If they end up winning their match, they would have to face FTR if they're on the same side of the bracket. And I don't think you want to have that match as a semifinal. Did anybody here get a chance to check out the interview that Juice Robinson had this week? I've only been able to see clips here and there. But from what I've seen, it just seems like Toni and Juice are just a pair made in heaven. But one of the things I enjoyed the most about that interview and the clips that I've seen so far, whenever, like the time that Toni was not on the roster and she just left WWE and she was always getting all frustrated, Juice was the one there pumping her up and just letting her know, yes, everybody wants to see you. Everybody's happy. Everybody loves you, Toni. And then when Juice got hurt and the time he had to take to come back, Toni was the one going to Juice and saying, look, everybody wants to see you. Please come back. And it's just so mutual. It's so positive to each other. That's hashtag couple goals, if you ask me. That is a very interesting Falcon Arrow type move. Oh, geez, there we go. Trying to grab tights, but there's nowhere to grab. Oh, God. That was a German. And here comes the Storm Zero. Even Athena knows what's going on. Oh, no. Drop down. Tony's not afraid to take an L. Oh, nice, nice. Nice reversal there. And here comes the chicken wing. And there it is. And Athena's just pissed. Hell of a performance for Billie here. Well, if you're going to be evil, this is the way you do it. Oh, and Athena's coming down. Let's go. Oh my God, Aubrey gets shoved out of the ring? I don't think she's ever been done. Well, I guess the women don't do that often, but. Could you imagine? What move is that? So Alex Windsor's the blocker? Damn! Oh, that's right. They got that title match on Saturday. Damn, was shot. Hey, you want to get Windsor some screen time? You want to get her some notoriety? To a crowd that, let's face it, like if you're a wrestling nerd, you know who Alex Windsor is. One of the most decorated women in British wrestling to date. But now she gets a chance. Well, she's not going to cash in now. But we had to block her. Hit out your head. Well, I don't know. Would have loved to cash in, yeah. I still feel that cash in's Forbidden Door. I still feel that's when we're going to have our match here as we go to commercial break here. Here's a question for a chat, and I know Zodiac, I know you answered last Saturday with a quick answer on this. Do we see a title change on Collision on Saturday? Do we see Alex Windsor defeat Athena for the Ring of Honor World title? If I had a Ouija or an 8-ball right now, I think I'd be shaking it. I think it might say all signs point to yes. It makes so much sense right now to get that title off of her. Yeah, I like I said, I know you said yes already once, and I don't think that's going to change here. It makes so much booking sense to do it. That's almost why Toni doesn't do it. With shenanigans. It's a world title change. Of course they're going to get shenanigans. Isn't that what happens every time we get shenanigans? When's the last time that one of our big titles didn't change due to shenanigans? If you really think about it. Like, would you say Danielson? Like, even between the men's and the women's, like, even Toni Storm's win was with shenanigans. But yeah, I would have to say that Danielson's win might be the last one that had. Sorry, I just read a nice comment about the Yankees defense right now. Oh my God. For anybody that's watching the Jays and Yankees series or keeping track of them, the best way to describe the Yankees defense right now. And what else? Are you going to catch a ball?
Sir, no, sir!
The Yankees are a supportive defense. Chat, we got another telemarketer on our hands here. Hello?
Hi there. My name is Dorcas. I'm calling from Ipsos, a survey research company. We're conducting studies on various products and services, and your opinion will be of great value to us. Please, may I ask, are you 19 years or older?
I am, but you're live on stream right now as I'm trying to get some work done here.
Oh, I'm sorry. When will be a better time to try again?
How about a quarter to never? Thank you. I was trying to be as polite as I could, but, you know, these damn surveys, and they won't call my personal phone. That was my work phone. Ugh. I respect that they have a job to do, but these surveys just, no. As it gets Swerve coming out to the ring. I was thinking about, I thought that was going to be a telemarketer chat. We were going to have some fun here. A little disappointed right now. At least we got Swerve on our screen to make things up here. Now, I think Hitchicero might actually win this one, thanks to shenanigans. Extra spotlight now. Oh, by the way, if anybody's talking about the Yankees defense being solid,
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life!
just want to make sure I got that out right now. I am really surprised that nobody has gone online and just called it Yankees with all those errors. So does Hitchicero actually get his music to come out, or is it the Don Callis Brown Jug music? Oh, God. Callis has really changed his get. Is he turning into a personal ring announcer now instead? Now grab handcuffs and cuff Don Cal. I would rather have them. Thank you for the translation. Thank you for the translation there. He just said, I am Hitchicero. And I'm with these guys. He betrayed the entire country of Mexico. And now we got Rick Knox as a referee in this match. This might even be harder. No, what you do, Jay Quick, you don't handcuff. You do not handcuff Don Callis. You make sure to tie a handkerchief in his mouth so he can't talk. So, by the way, for any of you, I know Nats, you are an MLB The Show fan. They just announced today that the Speedway Classic games that are coming up this weekend, the field's going to be an MLB The Show next week. So, have Taz choke him out, he won't talk. It's the same problem I have. Like, it's funny. I had somebody come up to me at work yesterday, and there's somebody that we just can't stand there. And I'm just pulling up to one of my stores and like, why don't you run them over? My answer is very simple. Shit smears. I wouldn't want to touch them. Even Strickland knows that he's showing a little respect for that chokehold. You know what I love about AEW more than anything else right now? You got a guy like Hitchicero in there who, let's face it, give him 6 months ago, he was a big guy in CML and nobody really gave two shits about him here in North America or in the northern part of North America. But now, yes, you can sort of give Callis a tiny bit of credit. Just tiny. Don't give him too much. That ego's big enough already. But Hitchicero is legit. Like, he's more than Rocky Romero, I'll say that. Like, Rocky Romero, every time we see him out there, we're like, yeah, we know who's losing now. Unless there's another guy there that's just as equivalent to, well, hell, look at Mark Briscoe. He used to be that guy too, and now he's going to be taking on Claudio later tonight, which looks like it's going to be our main event tonight. Which, let's face it, there's going to be a ton of shenanigans tonight on top of it. It is so hard to get that mad scientist bomb off on somebody taller than you. And that's the biggest problem when you have like a smaller luchador. Especially when your gimmick's to be the powerhouse of the luchadors. You got to adjust for like taller people, and that's why Brian Cage was just such a beast down there. And I really do hope Brian Cage is doing well. I know he's recovering from shoulder surgery again. Don't show Callis nodding in approval. It shouldn't be nodding in approval about what Swerve's doing. Come on now. Production hasn't been that terrible tonight. Let's not ruin things. But yeah, well, we're just shy of a month away from Forbidden Door here, so I am so looking forward to that show. Like, the British crowds are always insane. And maybe we'll tire them out before they get to before WWE gets to Paris. You know, the week after. So I love UK fans. Yeah, like they're absolutely amazing. The energy they have is spectacular. I really wonder if they got a little bit more consistent major promotion visits, would they have that same energy? That's the only question I have. My early answer is yes. Just because that's their culture out there. It's one thing I've always remembered. There is a different culture from wherever you're watching a show. Like fans in Chicago are different from fans in California versus fans in Las Vegas versus fans in the Northeast. Hell, even putting an example here between Calgary and Edmonton. For those that don't know, Calgary, Edmonton, they're the two major centers in Western Canada when it comes to wrestling. Calgary, obviously, we could say why, and Edmonton, we obviously can't say why. The difference is Edmonton actually, if you check ticket sales between Calgary and Edmonton for shows, Edmonton draws better than Calgary. Whether that be top level or indie. It's just straight up. But anyway, Calgary fans are very traditional and they're willing to get into a lot of things. They're willing to put stuff over completely right now. While in Edmonton, you got to prove yourself a little bit more. They're very skeptical fans. They're passionate. And that's one thing I've learned being on the indie circuit, whether it be in the crowd as a fan, at the announce table, or even in the ring doing promos and such. You got to prove that you can hang with the other guys. I learned that the very hard way a couple times there when I was doing a couple GM segments with one promotion. I basically got eaten alive. But thank goodness the promotion was the training promotion in town. So but Chicago and Philly are two great places to hold these 3-week stints because these fans are just absolutely amazing. I would have loved to see AEW maybe try to do a 3-week stint out in Europe. Swerve kicks out at 1. Wow. Everybody's working over the legs of everybody here because everybody's knees are toast after what's happened over the last couple weeks here. Yeah, Callis ain't wrong there. I gotta give the man credit. One thing you do in a street fight is if you want to break somebody's hand, let him hit your head, not your face, your head. Put it low there. The old Shino Bolo right there. I'll guarantee you your skull's gonna hold up better than his fist will. I love the Taz there. I think it's a mocking of your guy, Don. It's called the Gimmick Jones. We're still getting an MJF promo tonight? I guess it sort of makes sense. We still got half an hour left. And our main event's going to be Claudio and Briscoe, which means the Death Riders are going to come out, which means Hangman's going to come out, which means we're going to get a match set up for Forbidden Door. I cannot wait to see the Blue Jays replay tonight. Sorry, just seeing some notes come through. Looked like he was going for a camel clutch. And that's how you reverse that sleeper if it doesn't work. My head's still good. Your head's gonna hurt, but your face will be in one piece. My God, what a reversal there. Swerve didn't even know where he was for a second, I think. Oh, that's an honor. Okay. You know what? That stupid Shark Week thing. I've been sitting here for the better part of an hour and a half trying to figure out what the hell that thing was. It's an honor with a disguise on so he doesn't get eaten by the shark. It makes sense now. It's brilliant. Oh, and here we go. Let's throw it out. A DQ at AEW. Who would have thought? A DQ at AEW. Brody and Bandito coming out together. That gives me thoughts of tag team. And I would love to see that. Why is this make me think Hechicero winning? Okada with a chair. AEW bought the Blizzard? Huh? Maybe. Oh no. I'm an idiot tonight. Sorry, Zodiac. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that would have been nice. AEW bought they bought the Blizzard. They bought the Blizzard. All right, chat. Quick question. Zodiac brought it up. Favorite Blizzard from DQ. And go. Favorite Blizzard. I'll save mine for a few minutes here, but cheesecake with cherries? Nice. With cherries. Come on, let's have cherries. Let's go. Let's go, Big G. M&M? Very, very excellent there. And I like things basic too. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Zodiac, I knew I liked you for a reason. I haven't had the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup with it, but I do usually have the cookie dough. The other thing I'll try to have is a mint chip cookie dough, which is a whole different level of swearing from people. Thought it was as good looks. Ricochet at GOA. It's the hair. Even Alicia isn't very happy with that one. Alicia's like, why the hell do I get put with this runt? Ugh. No, I wonder what title do you think they go for? Do you think they go for the trios? Because I don't know if you really want to put them against Dustin right now. I think that's pretty much Kyle's lineup right now. Okada's already tied up with Swerve. You could possibly do Hangman Ricochet, but that's way too early to do that. I think there's some other business going on here yet. Tag titles, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Geo. I think they've already done that. I think this might be when Samoa Joe get. The reason why Gates of Agony isn't getting a whole lot right now is the fact that Samoa Joe is off advertising Twisted Metal, which, by the way, is up next Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday. Yeah, the 30th. The season 2 of Twisted Metal pops on. So once again, Peacock can be ruled by AEW again. Just saying. I really need to add to this soundboard and adjust things a little bit, but well, I keep saying that every week. I gotta start working on it. Ugh. Anyway, I got a feeling Joe will be back closer to Forbidden Door. We might get the. I think if we're gonna get anything for a interpromotional match with New Japan, it might be the trios title. I don't think you need a whole lot of titles on that card, especially if it's going to be a crossover card like it should be. But they are going to need at least 3 or 4 guys from New Japan, maybe some from the Brits, from Rev Pro. If Michael Oku isn't on Forbidden Door, I'll be absolutely shocked. After his response in the men's gauntlet match and in Ring of Honor. I would be downright shocked and I'm not going to say appalled because, you can't be appalled there. Oh, and just to make life seem so much more funny here, and I'm just bringing this up for shits and giggles and for something else that's coming up here. Anybody seen Ariel Helwani's interview with Eric Bischoff? Where he said that TNA is one streaming deal away from being over AEW. Which...
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
I'll be blunt and straight forward with this. And also throw in the fact that Ariel Helwani's pissed off because he thought he had something going with Logan Paul, and Paul just basically walked out on him. Sucks. Looks like he is out. He's offered Bill Goldberg a spot for a proper retirement match, apparently. Could you imagine he does that? Ah, yes. Thank you, Zodiac, for sending me a picture of the bald hat. I think I have actually saw that, and I actually am thinking about picking one up. Well, I'm assuming that we're going to get the main event right after this. Nice to see Briscoe in a jacket instead of a t-shirt tonight. Well, Chicago knows all about them boys. Whoa, here we go. These fans need to get these chants in order here. Come on now. Took them about 20 seconds. That's not a good crowd. Come on now. He's worried about the cost of the microphone. Let's set up a GoFundMe for a microphone for AEW. Opportunistic bastard. Appreciate that. Next week? Of course, no. Yeah. He's winning tonight, isn't he? You know, the luster on MJF sort of has disappeared for me a little bit. Just because, you know, sometimes you just got to back it up a little bit more, and he doesn't. And these promos, every time he throws a long promo out, it just grinds me a little bit. Yep. Okay. Warm and fuzzy. Funniest part about this whole thing is the fact that M. We were just talking about this. The fact that realistically, if you look at what's going on here right now, Mark Briscoe is in that top level. He's bringing a name. Don't do it, MJF. Don't do it. All right, here we go. Here comes the fight. And Claudio comes in from behind. MJF is trying, but all right, here comes Claudio. The emissary of violence. My God, this is why I love these buildings. Oh my God. Claudio is literally starting at he's starting like a statue on a wall. You tell me that isn't a video game spot right there? Gosh dang, this is pretty awesome watching this. You notice that Claudio really hasn't said a whole lot to anyone ever since in the last month? That whole arc where MGF just begged to be part of the Hurt Syndicate and he moves on that quick is weird. Yeah, I get it. But what if it's. What if there's another piece to this? What if there's another piece saying that, MJF still thinks he's a part of it and we still get that going for a little bit? This is also a way to set up Bobby versus MJF if MJF wins the title. Because I honestly do believe that Bobby will end up world champion for a little stretch. Because, yes, I do know that Bobby Lashley is a former WWE champion, but he probably might have been one of the most disrespected champions for his time. Sort of like the way Claudio was, except he wasn't a champion. He got to tag with Sheamus, which I see they're redoing the Sheamus Claudio storyline with Miro right now, or Rusev. So Darby's going to be in a shark cage tomorrow and not a wrestling. The bar was great, absolutely. How was Claudio not the heavyweight champ in WWE? Very simple. Vince didn't think he could talk. Claudio's talked about it numerous times that because of his accent, Vince didn't think he could do a good enough promo. That he was a charisma vacuum. When we all know that's complete bullshit. Like hell, the man's got his own coffee money. own coffee company. He's got his League of Legends streams are actually pretty cool. If you're into watching League of Legends at all, Brock couldn't talk. No, he eventually could, but I'm with you. Like, they put him with a manager. So Austin's out. Okay. So I'm assuming our main event's going to be Windsor and Athena next week, or on Saturday, sorry. So, just a quick note for you guys. It is Saturday this week for Ring of Honor. I'm assuming next week is Thursday. For Collision, sorry. Collision Saturday and then Collision on Collision next Thursday because, of course, SummerSlam is a Saturday, right? By the way, on behalf of the Jays. So, funny fact, McGee, just throwing it out there for you local Jays fans here. It is now official that the Jays have won the tiebreaker with everybody in the AL East except for Tampa. So if Tampa ends up tied with Toronto, they get the higher seed, wherever it is. Brock also looked like giant muscle, Vince's favorite. Yeah. Well, Claudio isn't that far off, but he looked like Intercontinental muscle. That's the thing. Because he had guys like Lesnar there. Like Lashley, to be frank. Like Triple H, who looked like he was on the gas 17 days out of 14. Even John Cena and Randy Orton you could say, not that they were, but they look like it. Compared to what Claudio looked like. Like, let's face it, Claudio might be the strongest man pound for pound in wrestling. But until recently, the definition, while he doesn't look bad, I will never say he looks bad. But he definitely, looks a hell of a lot leaner than what he did before. It almost felt like Claudio did look a little bulkier. Not a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not out of shape at all. And I'd be the last guy in the world talking about somebody being out of shape, unless you want somebody with experience to know what out of shape is. But I wouldn't believe you if you said Cena never touched her. Well, you know what? I really don't care. I'll be honest. All this stuff, I don't care. In baseball, I don't care if you do steroids. I don't care. I don't care in sports where you're not physically hitting anyone. Hockey, I'm a little worried about it. Football, I'm definitely worried about it. Boxing and MMA, you're damn right I'm worried about it. Because you can literally murder somebody with that because of increased stuff. Other ones, whatever. You're not hurting anybody. To be honest, I don't care a whole hell of a lot. Half of the wrestling is a visual. That's exactly it. Like, let's face it. When it comes to pro wrestling, it essentially, like, people talk about it ain't ballet. Well, in many ways it is. It's a performance sport. That's the thing. It's like gymnastics. It's a performance sport. In many ways, like, baseball is sort of a half and half, right? Because in baseball, if you take steroids and you can hit a ball 120 miles an hour at a guy's head, that might not be the best thing in the world here, just. Sorry, I don't have an ambulance sound going. Steroids should be banned from anything but. I think if you're going to make money based on physique, how do I put this the best way? If you're in any kind of competition where increased performance will land you directly a prize more than what you have, I say steroids should be banned. And I mean this in a different way than I do in wrestling. Wrestling, you have a lot more than just your performance in the ring to do. And for in many ways, I take a steroid. Like, I'll be the first honest. I have asthma, so I take Ciprocort. Mock the hell out of a wrestler if they're juiced, and obviously so they insist they aren't. Like, I don't really care if you are or you aren't. Just don't bullshit us. Fans aren't stupid. Well, yes and no, McGee. Because I'll tell you right now, my inhaler, I'm not allowed in the Olympics. Straight up. And here's another one. How many gold medals have been stripped because people have taken cold medication? Yeah, they just announced this week, by the way, folks. Wrestle Dream coming up October 18. It makes sense that they left this one off the calendar for a little bit because they want to see where WWE's moving their stuff around to. And it looks like WWE sort of put themselves on the other side of the world right around October. So I guess it's not really going to matter. Ooh, look who just showed up. Random Darby sighting in the crowd. McGee with Wrestle Dream, with Full Gear, anything that happens during the football season, the pay-per-views will be on a Saturday. Those are guaranteed. All In was a little different this year. Yeah, All Out, same thing. It's on a Saturday during football season because right after Tony's done, right after the press conference, he's on a jet to the Jags game. Wherever the Jags may play. You also got to remember that Tony is actually looking for venues that are close to where the Jags are playing for a little bit of cross promotion, cross branding, possibly. Briscoe in control here. TK getting some extra minutes here tonight. I thought those stairs were a lot closer than he pictured there. Oh my God, he's pulling a Jeff Hardy. The guy in the hologram mask decided to grab at Briscoe's foot, the moron. You can tell Claudio is really old school when it comes to his wrestling, because if you watch him go for both these elbows here, As Briscoe goes for both elbows, Claudio's actually sitting up partially to take him. It's really solid technique. Same thing like when you're going for a crossbody. Claudio will jump for you to get that extra little pump in. Jesus, what a shot. All right, nice little crotch grab there. So what are you going to do for there, Claudio? Come on now. Power slam from the top. That's actually very basic, but very effective. Try to hook up for a neutral. Again to the eyes. And that'll be it. Okay. Claudio's a freaking robot. Seriously. Claudio lost to a small package. A Lost in the Woods gets another victory. Let's go. Shout out to Xavier Woods here. And Briscoe's bleeding. Oh, here comes Marina. That wasn't even a real chop block. She hit the quad. I should shut up. You know, it is wrestling. So what the hell do you want, Mox? Let's get this out of the way here and let's just settle this right now. Okay, but what do you do now? What? Wait, what? Um, okay. Well, folks, I think we got a match for next week that's worth talking about. Hangman Moxley straight up wrestling next week. What a way to go out in Chicago. Look at that graphic. So they got 2 days in a row to close out the Chicago portion here. And honestly, that I'm at a loss for words. Like, this is actually a really good. This is a really good way to finish things up. This is a. If you want to finish a rivalry, finish in Chicago. And then you can work towards Forbidden Door, whoever he's going to face. But this could be the signature night for the Death Riders, where we finally end things. You want to talk about counter programming? AEW, I think, does. It's very interesting, folks. I think counter programming with AEW is on another level. Just because AEW, while WWE will book a show to counteract AEW and everything they're doing, we got SummerSlam coming up next Saturday. Let's call a spade a spade. SummerSlam is this weekend. Next weekend. This could be another situation where you're going to talk more about what Moxley and Hangman did more than you're going to talk about a lot of the matches going on SummerSlam weekend. Yes, there's going to be some excellent matches, and I still feel that there's a lot more positivity going through the SummerSlam card than a lot of people give credit for. And I think it'll be a good card. But I think what you're going to hear for a lot of retrospect for the next week is you have Logan Paul and Jelly Roll on the WWE side versus Mox Hangman on the other side, on the AEW side. You could have all the other matches you want, all the appearances you want, all the expertise you want. I got a feeling that's going to be a lot of the context you're going to hear over the next week when it comes to SummerSlam week. Don't get me wrong. SummerSlam should be a hell of an event to come back to. Out of that, we're on that Saturday, we're probably going to stream 2K25 after SummerSlam's done. But, yeah, it's going to be a gooder next week. And we get to start off with Hangman Page and Jon Moxley one-on-one, where Moxley gets to show that he's more than just a blood bucket. But yeah, all in all tonight, like, Swerve Okada got set up pretty well. We found out we're getting a tag tournament for the tag titles. And we got FTR that moved on to the one round. We got MJF kicked out of the Hurt Syndicate, apparently. We don't know if that's officially yet, but it almost feels like it is official. We got Athena taking out Toni Storm. Would have cashed in if it wasn't for Alex Windsor setting up that title match on Saturday, which I think right now we got betting odds going that Windsor is going to be taking the title there, but with Athena, you never really know. I still feel they're going to go 1,000 days. Except for the fact they changed the date of Death Before Dishonor for instead of 1,000 days. It's going to be 993 if she makes it all the way there. So, if Athena makes it there, sorry. But yeah, good night overall. Mark Briscoe got a good win here and is more than just that mid-carder, like they said. Probably going to get MJF and MJF Mark Briscoe before we're going to get MJF and Hangman, unless he cashes in next week. You can't put it by, because if you want to talk, there's just a hunch that you could talk. That's all. But that's going to wrap it up here for the AEW Dynamite Sidecast tonight. And that's going to wrap it up for the broadcast tonight because, unfortunately, I have some stuff I got to get done tonight. So we're going to be kiboshing 2K25 here. Next Wednesday, we're going to be back. We're going to finish up Season 1. We are on our way to WrestleMania here and get everything set up perfectly for that. Next time I'm going to be on is tomorrow. And I'm going to be trying something out. Let me see if I can grab it here. So, for anybody that knows, I play with my stick rather well when it comes to fighting games. But, on request of one of the persons from the Remember the Game community, of course it's not showing up here, it is a 8-bit duo hitbox. So, we're going to be trying that out with a little Street Fighter 6 tomorrow, see how it runs. And then, Friday, I should be on with the Little River City Girls. Saturday, we'll be back here with AEW Collision, both on YouTube and on Twitch. And we'll be back with the solo run of my GM 2K25. So, we're going to have 2 weeks in the tank here. But before we go, we got to send, well, actually, I could send both of you off at the same time here. So, let's see who's on. I'm usually on for another couple hours. But a little under the weather and such. I'd like to keep things going a little bit here for you guys as you got a little bit of an... Thank you, Eric, for being here. Thanks, everybody. You know what? Everybody's already shutting down, so... yeah, get back. We'll be back here tomorrow, folks. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated right now. Just got some news earlier tonight and just been trying to decompress it for the last couple hours here. And just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow. Subscribe if you really want to help out the channel and really enjoy the... But otherwise, make sure you're always part of the solution. Take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all here next time on the Mike Direct Twitch channel. Take care, everybody.